Hey, and what's going on? Welcome back, Brad Tragic, once again. Um, Channel's going to be changing soon. It's going to be Brad Tragic TV. And you haven't seen me in a long time. I haven't been doing a lot of videos, so apologize for that, but it's coming back around the way. Of course, around this time of the year, my wife goes on a little vacation, I guess, back to Indiana. So you'll get to see a little bit more of my face. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it is what it is. Um, so I'm going to talk about some buying and selling tips right now, some buying and selling tips. So if you watch my other videos, definitely go check those out. They have a lot of great, step-by-step basic tips, that will help you in getting started and if you're not sure what to buy, what to stay away from, and so forth. But to be a safe buyer and seller, those are really, really great videos to, watch and kind of make notes possibly. Um, because a lot of people have smartphones and things nowadays. So I don't have that. So when I tell you those tips, and I do tell you also in those videos, if you have smartphones, it does help, so forth, so forth. So this will be one of those videos where it'll be helpful either way. So first I want to talk about is where to buy and sell, or where to find your stuff that you're going to be buying and selling. And I don't know if I really covered that. I covered like different types of items. Basically, is what I covered. So now I'm going to kind of break down and say, well, where should you buy anything at all? So, the first place I think everyone always thinks about is, you're going to go to yard sales, you're going to go to Goodwill, and that's, the main two places. You might go to flea markets, but flea markets, I want to talk about flea markets real quick, and that, a lot of those people are probably just like rebuyers and, or buyers and resellers. So they're probably kind of like you. They're kind of be trying to make their cut. So they might actually already have the product at the highest value it could be at. Um, if they don't, then you get lucky. Maybe it's just a person who get stuff at a decent price, or maybe they get stuff at auctions and they just want to flip them just to, at least to make their money back. A lot of people, most people at flea markets, I would probably say, are probably the first, is what I talked about, is that they're probably just like you. They're probably trying to make some extra money, and they're trying to reflip them and make that profit on the item. Some people aren't really worried about, getting top dollar for it, and you really should. If you want to be a top, buyer and reseller, you want to do it for top value. You want to at least get it. I mean, if it's the top value is $20, maybe charge 16. So you're getting as much value as you can for it, but you're also giving everybody a deal at the same time. If you only paid $5 for it and you're selling it for 16, that's really really great. If you're paying it $5 and then someone at a flea market has it for $8, then there's kind of some wiggle room there where you can make a little bit of profit. You can make double your money at least back and maybe charge like 17 or something like that. But there's things there. So now let's move to yard sales. Yard sales are really like one of the foundations of where you probably should shop. When yard sales are in, yard sales, garage sales, rummage sales, whatever you want to call them, estate sales. Estate sales are usually they have high dollar items for the most part, but you might find some things like that, smaller priced items, But a lot of yard sales, they'll have like 25-cent items, 50-cent items that are probably, they just don't know what they're worth, or they don't want to spend the time to look up everything, or maybe they're just not savvy like that. They don't know how to look it up. They don't know how, to really price their items. They just don't want to deal with eBay. They don't want to deal with Amazon. So they're just trying to make a little bit extra cash, get rid of, all these 20 shirts that are probably going for like $2 to $5 on eBay. So that's really a good place, to get clothing, to get all the other things that are profitable at a yard sale. And I talked about that in other videos, so you can look at all the other videos and learn about that. Um, but yeah, clothing is good at yard sales, and yeah, I can't remember what all I said. I went through this in different genres on those other videos. Um, Goodwill is good, and you can get clothes that are decently. I haven't really looked into clothes or shoes or anything like that, but I hear you can make decent money on clothes and shoes. I don't deal a whole lot with eBay right now. I'm working on getting back on eBay, trying to get somewhere, get a workaround kind of system thing going on. Um, Also, I do sell on Amazon, and I do sell on Bonanza.com because Bonanza.com advertises on eBay and Amazon. No, not Amazon. They advertise on Google Shopping and eBay. So, and if you get a sale through them, you just gotta pay like a little commission. So, sorry. So it works out pretty well. So you don't really have to sell on eBay. And you can go through Bonanza. You don't have to pay any listing fees. Just when you sell something, you have to pay like a small fee. I think it's like, I know I sold something for like 60 cents. I had to pay like a 50 cent. I owe them like 50 cents right now. So they're like, you don't need to pay us right now. So I think if you, unless you get like $10, I may say, okay, you might want to pay us now. But and that's the difference between eBay and Bonanza. So there you go. Probably make a video after that about eBay versus Amazon and talk about some of the other sites as well. Um, but yeah, there you go. So let's talk about some other places to go. I think one of the places I want to tell people to check out is Walmart and any other retail stores that have like clearance departments. Um, and the reason why I want to do that is that they do have some good stuff. Now, here's a caveat to it. I actually went to Walmart tonight, and I actually was looking at stuff. And I'm like, well, how could I make money off of this stuff? And I'm looking at it, and now it's Christmas time, so they put a lot of high dollar items over there because they figure, well, it's Christmas time. So maybe some people will buy some stuff that they're going to end up giving to their families. Not in Christmas time, they might have some better stuff over there, and it won't be as crammed. It might be not as busy with people. And you can use your smartphone check the barcodes on items and see what they're going for on Amazon and so forth. Um, so that's really a good place. Walmart, I don't know if Big Lots is really a good idea, but like I think like Target has clearance. Toys R Us definitely. And I found out what the best time of the year to go do that was, and that was about like a month ago, a couple months ago, because they started to circulate their old toys out to get the new toys in for Christmas, and that's a really, really great time of the year to go out and get toys and probably to, stock up for Christmas for the person who still wants those toys from yet last year or 6 months ago that they're trying to circulate out to get the new brand spanking new toys that's coming in, because a lot of toy companies, I believe, like they save up all to release all their toys around Christmas time is because that's when the big money comes, and that's when Christmas and everybody's going to buy a bunch of toys for everybody, for their kids and things like that. So I think that's the reason behind that. I don't know. I'm not in the toy business, so that's my guess. I mean, some toy companies just don't care, but because they make money all the time. But around Christmas time, you can tell people, then the toys companies, they put things together around Christmas time. They start to release more. They may release more sets around Christmas time, and then during the regular year, they won't release as much. They only release like a few sets at a time of figures and toys and things like that. Um, so there you go. Definitely check out the big box stores. I guess that's what they call them, or the retailers, and check them out. Another place to look for, and don't be afraid to do this, is look online. Look on Listia, look on Amazon, look on, Amazon's kind of but eBay, look on eBay, look on Listia.com, look on other auction sites for items that are flippable, that you can get and resell for a higher price. And you want to look for what they're called is lots, Lots, lots or group of items. I don't know like what they would go under. Sometimes they'll put like mixed, just put mixed in the title and just hit search, and you'll find, and just go by, ending soon, and you'll find like a bunch of things. You'll probably have to sift through a bunch of crap for the most part, but you might come across like mixed bag or grab bag or things like that. As long as you can see the items and what they are in the lot of items, then you can, usually I put lot of in the title and then hit search, and you're going to get a bunch of things. But some people don't know about that terminology on eBay. And after once they learn it, they know that they're going to get a lot more money if they use that terminology, because that's what people on eBay know what to look for if they're trying to buy a group of items, and do what I'm telling you about doing. Um, Try and get, I think, things for flea markets and things like that to turn around and sell for a decent price. Even just to bulk up your inventory. Sometimes lots aren't really meant to make money. Sometimes I think people buy them for flea markets to just try and bulk up their inventory. Like, you get 10 DVDs and you're buying them for like, $100. Okay, you're really not gonna make a good deal, not really a profit on it, but you're gonna get your money back. And I'm talking about like if these are all like new releases, like within 2013, and they're all sealed and they're all Blu-ray, so you're gonna turn around and take them and go to the flea market and sell them for $10 a piece. You're probably gonna sell half those, within a couple months. So it's somebody's gonna come across that and want to buy it, probably. So you can get your money back, but you're not going to really make a profit on it. And more likely that person coming to your booth or whatever at your physical flea market in person, they're going to probably buy something else, more like, or that's what they want you to do. It's kind of like Walmart, how they put the impulse purchases around the register. Yeah, it's kind of like that, where you buy stuff like that. But you can do it as well to buy and resell. You can get a good example of this is I had some. I believe I looked up a lot of. I pulled it up, and I was looking for wrestling, so I put a lot of WWE, and came up and it said wrestling tapes was what they were basically. They were VHS, and I know some people were like, oh, VHS, you can't make no money off of them. Let me tell you something. I think I made a video on this, and if I haven't, I'm gonna really make a video just dedicated to wrestling merchandise because you can make some really good money on vintage wrestling stuff, and it doesn't even really have to be vintage. It was from like 2001, or some things could be like old TNA stuff that is no longer like you can't get it anymore. Um, you could but WCW VHS is very collectible. Old WWF, uh, stuff is still very collectible. Things from the early 2000s are now becoming collectible because now people want to go back and relive that stuff. Stuff with Jeff Hardy in there and Kurt Angle and Undertaker back in that time period. Things like that. Like I'm not really I know people are like, why would they want Undertaker from 2000? I'm just making up points here. The thing is, the VHS tapes I looked at, they were like one was going for like $8 on Amazon, another one was going for $5, another one was going for $12, another one going for $9, and I think altogether the person wanted $25, and then it was like I think it was like $15 to um, ship it or whatever. So after all, they were all added up. Like you made your money back. Like basically, you made your money back, and and you made your money back and probably got at least half your money with profit. So I probably pay, let's say, you paid 40. I think there was like total of around 65 to $70 value right there if you put it on Amazon. So I'm like, pretty good deal. And I was just doing this for research. I didn't buy them or nothing, but I was just looking up and seeing what I could find. And another good thing to look for is magazines. I know some people are like, oh, but I heard magazines are worthless. They're not worthless. And here's what I'll tell you why they're not worthless. Yeah, you're going to sit on them for a very long time. But if you buy the right magazines and you have a value put on them, put them somewhere, make sure they don't get damaged, store them, and put them on Amazon. And eventually a seller is going to come along and want to buy, a certain issues of the magazine. It's kind of like I kind of think of this of if you remember back in the day, comic books and other magazines would allow you. I know wrestling magazines for sure. They would allow you to buy the back issues, but you had to pay like a big shipping fee and all this and all that. I don't see that as much anymore. I don't know if you can really do that anymore just because of the way eBay and everything is now. They may have just said screw it and they stopped, holding those copies back, and they may have gotten rid of them. I know a lot of magazines companies you can buy old publications and pay like so much money and you can get the issue of that magazine. Oh, wow, a little yawn there. But yeah, so magazines are not like I know I had Mug magazine, a lot of the music magazines, the metal like Metal Edge and Metal Maniacs. If you ever see any of those, pick them up. They go for anywhere from $5 to $10 on Amazon, and I've seen some go for a little bit less than that. I have some I have right now that I lowered the price down to $3.75, just trying to get some action on some of my merchandise. But I'm probably gonna bump them back up since somebody took the offer. I'm probably gonna bump them back up. Um, but yeah, a lot of them will go for probably about $3 to $5 at least. Some of the magazines. So you want to take that as kind of what it is. And Also got some car magazines on Listy a while back. They were going from like I think about $4 a piece around that. Uh, Comic books, also look for comic books. Lots of comic books, and you're not going to make a whole lot of money off of comic books, but I think a good thing to think about comic books is, put them on Amazon, put them for like $1.50, even if they're not worth anything, put them for $1.50, let them sit. Because eventually somebody's going to come around and either they want to complete a set or they just want to buy one. Um, and they want to pay through Amazon. They don't want to go anywhere else. They're comfortable with Amazon. They want to buy on Amazon. And some people are like that. Crazy as it sounds. But, you do that and you do all your business on Amazon, there you go. There's a lot of people who just like eBay. There's a lot of people who just like Amazon. So you got to think about that as well. So some things, that you don't see listed on Amazon, or there's only like, if there's under 10 offers, it's a good chance to probably get in bed with that item. That's what I would say. Under 5, guaranteed. Pick it up. That wouldn't be a hesitation. Pick it up. If it's a good price. If you're gonna make like a $2-3 profit on it, get it. Like to me, a profit margin doesn't really matter to me. If I'm gonna make $2-3 on it, I'm gonna pick it up because there's a chance I'm gonna make money on that item. So I'm gonna pick it up so I can go buy something else with that $3 and maybe turn 2 other items into $6 items. So that could get me $12 total for the ones I just sold. What I'm saying? It gets you the pattern. You may only sell it for a few, but yeah. So there you go. I hope this helps you out. I hope this kind of helped you out about where to go get your stuff. I hope those are some great tips for you, and hope you continue to check out stuff right here on Brad Chudzik TV. If it hasn't changed to Brad Chudzik TV yet, get ready because it will. There's some changes, and I will talk about that in a whole other video. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment down below, subscribe down below, and tell your friends about Brad Chudzik TV. See ya, keep rocking, and the wise are calling.